Good evening, everybody. I hope you're enjoying this Easter weekend, knowing that we are having a good time. We're celebrating Christ, and we just want to acknowledge that first because without Him, we would not be here. So we always want to give praise and glory to Him because of what He did for us that allow us to do what we'll do. So we're very thankful. This is a blessed day, a blessed weekend, and we're going to have so much fun today. So I hope everybody is ready for us. Again, I'm Lorenzo Evans. This is the Takes a Village podcast, and I'm going to turn it over to my co-host, Ariana. Turner, you want to take it?
Blessings, everyone. I hope that everyone is having a happy Sabbath and a blessed Saturday. And I'm really excited today. We have a great guest. I'm going to tell you so much about her. Before I do, for those of you who are first time seeing and hearing from us, this is It Takes a Village. I am Ariana, a servant of my community for well over 15 years of experience in organizational leadership and my passion, communications. And I do have a desire to uplift the nations by empowering others as a financial strategist, life coach, and transformational speaker and poet. And I am blessed to be the co host of a beautiful, strong man of God, Lorenzo Evan, who is not only a motivational speaker himself, a playwright, a certified life coach, but in the most important service, a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. He's written and directed around 9 plays, founder of LNG Production, Living in Grace Ministries, and It Takes a Village podcast. You can catch him every Saturday at 7 a.m. on Facebook Live. And he has actually been in the ministry for well over 20 plus years. So there is a book coming out and a book in his soul titled A Day in the Life of a Man, and currently preparing for a mini series, Where's My Daddy? And the two of us come to you with It Takes a Village because we are here for you, the village. And today we have a special guest, right, Lorenzo?
Yes. We were so thankful because when we started this, It Takes a Village. We want people from all walks of life. We want people who have experience in many different areas because a village consists of so many different people. So we're just so blessed to have been able to reach out to so many different arenas and pull people in and have them bring their gifts, their talents to us. So today we have a very special guest. I'm so excited because it's to know of all the things that she have done is preparing you for all the things that she's going to do. So we're very excited because we have a guest that's special, and all our guests are special, but everyone bring their own special touch to what we do. So we lift each and every one of them up because we only bring on champions. Because if you come to our platform, you either been a champion and you're going to become a champion again, or you are a champion as of now. And we're here to support you to make sure, because we are here to get rid of that stigma that we can't stick together, we can't work together, we can't promote each other. We can do just that, and we can promote one another, and we still win. It's a win-win. If you win, I've already won. If I win, you've already won. That's what we do because we are a village and we are united as one. Our roots may be in different places, but it's one big root, and then we begin to grow and branch out. So we're just so thankful today to have our guest. Now, this is the first time we've ever done this on the broadcast. I'm gonna bring her on, and I don't want to mess up her name and mispronounce it. So I'm gonna bring her on. Let me bring our guest on here. Hello. Now,
Hello.
I think it's Arischa Conner, right?
Yes.
Okay. Whew. Yes, but we're so blessed to have you here because the humbleness that you have for who you are speaks volume. I've known people who they go out and they go, they want to be in a play or something, and just for the fact that they read or auditioned for that play, all of a sudden they can't talk to nobody unless you go through this person and that person, and it's like, come on, you know. So we support you. So I appreciate the fact that you are willing to come and share with us and with the world, because you are a wealth of talent encouragement. And I think we really need to dig in who you are and how you became the powerful lady that you are today.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Miss Arischa Conner, right? Arischa?
Arischa Conner. Yes.
Okay. Want to make sure we bless you with saying it right. And if you don't mind, Miss Arischa, I want to make sure our guests get to know, because you're going to equip us with some beautiful knowledge. And I'm sure they're going to want to know how to get in contact with you. So could you please share with us how to get in contact with you right after I let the community know just how much you have served thus far? You guys, Miss Arischa Conner is best known for her reoccurring role in Hulu's limited original series, Dopesick, as Leah Turner. You know, I'm a Turner too, so I know how those roles can alongside Michael Keaton and Will Poulter. Now, some of her other credits include her reoccurring co-star role in the Apple TV series Swagger, which was directed by Reggie Rock, and that's a CBS special. Also, the last days of, is it Ptolemy Gray?
The last days of Ptolemy Gray.
Ptolemy Gray, and that's alongside Samuel L. Jackson. You got to tell us how all of these experiences have been for you. My confidence would be shooting through the roof. But even I see before that, before breaking into TV and film, you flourished on the theater, on the stage, and reviving performances of 8 different characters in the documentary theater piece. Is it Misery is Optional?
Yes.
That title alone is impactful.
Yes.
Broadway World Regional nomination, Best Actress, and I mean the accolades continue. You've been in it's the Charleston, South Carolina. Is it Spoleto Festival of USA?
Spoleto. We were selected to perform in the Spoleto Festival, but it was canceled because of COVID.
Oh. Well, you know, I'm sure there's so much to tell us about the Apple TV, the series that you've been on, the co-stars you've got to work with, even the stage plays you've been able to bring characters to life in. Miss Arischa, before we jump into it though, how can the community get in touch with you?
They can find me on Facebook, Arischa Conner, on Twitter, Arischa Conner, and also on Instagram as Arischa is a star. I probably have to type that in for you. But I don't know if people ever, I'm typing it in the back chat.
Perfect.
Because, you know, sometimes people will come and try to steal your Instagram page. So I had to change my name. So it's Arischa as a star.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. And community, will be sure to get that down for you before we leave out today. But Miss Arischa, I want to open up the floor for you. Welcome to the village. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me. Any opportunity I have to speak and share my story, as well as encourage others who are thinking of going into the realm of acting, I'm grateful for each and every opportunity that I get. So thank you so much to both of you for having me.
And we we have some other things I found out about you too that we're going to discuss before this over. So
okay.
Yeah, see, it's a whole lot to you that people don't know about.
Oh,
But
okay.
we gonna let them know before it's over.
Okay.
But you know, I'm sure as being an actress, you've had to pull from a lot of places to even bring characters to life. So I'm sure there's so much to what makes up Miss Arischa Conner and the dynamics of you to be able to pull from. How and where did you get started in acting? Where did that begin?
Well, I'm going to try to keep a long story short. Because when I was younger, I always wanted to be a singer. That was my thing. And when I grow up, I'm going to be a singer. I'm going to be a singer. And when I was in college, I took a theater class, and that was my first foray into acting. And I enjoyed it. You know, it was nice, but I wanted to be a singer. And then I had the opportunity to be in another play. We did Mama, I Want to Sing. And I was the lead in that particular play, which I absolutely loved the experience. But like I said, I was in college. I still wanted to be a singer. What I really liked about it was I remember, I think it was a little girl selling candy or something in the neighborhood, and she knocked on my door. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I saw you on stage in the play. You were so good." And I just, in that moment, I'm like, whatever it is I do want the opportunity to touch the world, because you never know, who you're inspiring through your performances. So fast forward, I was a teacher for 20 years in education. And when I moved into my new city, I joined our faculty choir. And the director of the choir was like, "Hey, I want you to come to our community theater, and we're doing a show. I want you to audition for it." So I auditioned for Smokey Joe's Cafe, and I got a part, which is amazing. And I loved being on that stage. It was then, and I was older. I was in my late 30s, maybe early 40s, when I was in that play. And that is when I really, really thought seriously about acting. And then I joined another production company, which is Wow Productions, here in Columbia, South Carolina. Tangi Beatty's the CEO. And I did a play with them called Yesterday Is Still Gone. And I was an understudy in the play. And I just say real quick, anytime anybody, if you're acting and you're an understudy, your role, every role is important. Every role is important. Mm-hmm. So I was an understudy in that play, and they were filming it. And the one night I had was Sunday night. And it so happened that the best footage that they collected was on that Sunday night. And that footage was released internationally through Maverick Movies, on CDs. You can buy it in Target and Walmart today.
Look at that.
Yeah. And through those experiences and being connected with other actors who are working with Wow Productions, at that point in my life, I was like, I believe acting is really something that I wanted to do. So I really started concentrating on that and taking classes and learning everything that I could. And people always say that acting is not a sprint, it is a marathon. It really is a marathon. So it took a lot of years of practice and taking classes and working on the craft, for me to be able to get some of the roles that I'm getting now. But I wouldn't change my journey. I wouldn't change my journey, because it's all a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Wow. And what I like about that is you embrace the journey. A lot of people, they don't make it because they can't make it through the journey. And I tell people all the time, you'll never get to the realm in the bush unless you first climb the mountain.
Right.
You got to keep climbing. You got to persevere. And to know that people will soon gonna see your face everywhere, and they're gonna like this super mega star that burst out, and people don't understand you've always been a star, but you're just now starting to shine brighter than you have before.
I
so
that, yeah.
You
the star is just now in a telescope.
right. And you've got so much. I mean, when I was studying and looking at all the stuff, I was like, wow, this woman has a lot. And I think it's a lot of people that, for whatever reason, they do a whole lot, but they never get recognition for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we want to make sure we know the superstar that you are and that you're going to be. We know that. I see it happening. And that was why when I first seen you on Ashton's show, I said I've got to have on my show. I said I just got to, because just listening to the way you said, I'm going to do this. And I think, didn't you say you was a teacher and you left that job to go 100% into where you at now?
Yes, I was in the classroom with my students, and I used to tell my students all the time, whatever dream you have for yourself or whatever you believe you can achieve, but you've got to put in the work. So as I look back, I think of myself as like a living lesson, because I told them, if you put in the hard work, you can live that dream that you set for yourself. And here I am. I know I put in the work. I put in the work. And I'm able to be in this realm now that I'm just enjoying and enjoying being a part of. So I hope that, and I'm still in contact with a lot of my students, because I want them to know that if you work hard toward whatever your dream is or whatever goal you set for yourself, you can live in that. You can do and be that.
If you don't mind me saying, Papa, though, he he hit on right on the nail about your accolades and achievements, and we do want to make sure we give it its due honor. And so I know within your bio you were specific to giving credit to a lot of the people you work with and the companies and organizations. So I don't want to do any disservice, and make sure if you do, there's time to make sure they get recognized. Make sure to let me know. But yes, it's a beautiful portfolio of art that you have.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, and what I like is that, and I know that there's going to come a point where you can be sitting down in front of millions speaking about your journey. And it's probably going to amaze you when you realize just you getting to where you at now, you have impacted thousands of people because you showing that, look, I said it, I did it. It wasn't like you took some magic formula. You didn't go and take some special pill. You put in the work. You said it's going to be done, and you did it. You call those things as not as though they were. You stepped out on faith, and faith without works is dead. So you did the work. Now your faith is being shown, and a lot of people are going to look back and say, "I remember when she said that." I heard somebody say this, and it's so profound. There's two type of people that you're normally going to run into when you're doing what you did. You can have the set of people that stand around so they can say, if you fail, that's what I'm waiting to see if she's going to fail. And if you will fail, they will say, I told you so. And then you have that other group that's going to be standing mixed in with the ones that waiting to see if you're going to fail. That's going to say, oh, I knew she was going to make it. So it's always going to be one side or the other. But for me, I just know that if you, like you said, if you have a dream and you don't let it go, there's always the possibility of that door opening. A lot of people, they quit because too many doors are closed, but they don't understand some doors are closed because it's not the right door. So you got to make sure that the door you walk through is the door that God intends for you to. See, and I don't want to go too deep with it, but people don't understand. Sometimes the enemy will open a door and it's a trap on the other side. And if you're not discernment enough to realize everything that glitter is not gold, now you're missing your opportunity because you fighting to get out this door that God been trying to keep you not to walk in. So I like the fact that you took the proper steps. You put in the work. You didn't just say, well, let me see what's going to happen. You said, I'm going to put in the work. This is going to happen for me. And that's
that door to be timely. Sometimes the door might open just so you could peek at what's there, but you ain't ready.
Yeah, so you did the work, and we gonna it's just so much that you have done. Now my favorite is Dopesick. I watched that, and as a matter of fact, I think we watched half of the episodes on one night, and then I think the next night we watched the other half because it was we just watched it, and I was and now I know you put in the work because that role you played, that role you was Leah. I was sitting there. And then when I listened to your story, I was like, no, you're not gonna tell me that you haven't been doing movies forever. Because you and that's smooth. Because I've seen people who I look at was like, yeah, this is their first movie. But you flowed with it, and it was just, I was like, wow, this woman is amazing. And see, and what I like is that we watched the show before I even knew who you were. Oh. And then when I said, I was like, wait a minute, we watched that show. So how did that feel doing that role? Because you was a pivotal part in what was going on towards the end.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was my second role that I booked for a streaming service. My first was Swagger. Dopesick was my second role. So for me, it was an incredible experience because when I did, I had auditioned for so many different parts. And when I auditioned for that part, I tell my people all the time, I wish I could show you that first audition, but the casting director must have seen something in me. And she called me back in and worked with me one-on-one, and then had me retape. I taped maybe 4 times before I booked that particular role. And it just felt so natural to me, because Ariana was talking about, our experiences. When I was I believe I was in college, I used to work as a receptionist in my father's office. My father is a dentist. And I used to be the receptionist in his office. And when we went on set, when I went on set the first day, and I was like, oh, wow, this looks like my father's office. So I really felt it really. So I just really felt like I was at home when I was on set, and to be given such a pivotal role, because Leah's character was there for Dr. Phoenix, who was played by Michael Keaton, when he felt like everyone else left him. She was still there, and the one who encouraged him to go to the methadone clinic, to in his recovery. And because of her encouraging him and being there for him, he started taking all the people to the methadone clinic for them to go through recovery, and then opened his own recovery center. So, she really was a pivotal person in his particular story. And I'm just grateful that I was able to be a part of that. And I know you mentioned earlier, I was in a documentary theater piece called Misery is Optional. And that piece was about 40 people who were in active recovery from drugs and alcohol. We took their stories, their words, and we reenacted their words.
Ooh,
so that gave me, and that gave it was everything as a setup. If we just stay connected, you know what I'm saying? Just because I know God has a hand in all of this,
Right.
Just how that Hulu spot was just for you. The fact that he said, no, come here, let me show you something. Let's do it. Nope, not yet. Do it again. Not yet. Do it again. Not yet. Do it again. Now you got the spot. And then you walk in there and it is your setting that God already had you in from babyness. Like, that's just...
It was like, like I said, in being in Misery is Optional, I had that knowledge base of what it meant to be Dopesick, because I had already told those stories from various persons' point of view. So it was just like, he's like, okay, here, I'm giving you this because I'm about to give you something that's about to blow your mind. You know what I mean? I remember when my team called me, I was in tears. I was like, what? I'm going to be, all my scenes are with Michael Keaton, So yeah, it was just an amazing experience working with people who have been in the legends in the industry, because he's been in the industry for over 50 years, and to be able to be on set and watch him work, and I use that as a lesson for myself. I'm taking notes, and what I really gained from that is it's really important for you to be yourself. Just be Arischa. You're on the set, just be you. That's why you're here, because of what you bring.
And let me give you this, because like I say, I'm by me being a playwright, I can see things that maybe a lot of people don't see. In order for you to get where you're going, God wanted you to be in a position to see somebody that's already there. So, like I say, Michael Keaton, he's been in the industry. God don't just put you in positions just for you to stay in that position. He put you in position so you can learn. So when you get in that legend position, when you get in that iconic position, you'll know what it feels like because you've seen it before. So you won't be walking on unfamiliar territory. So, like you said, when you went in and they work with you, you do that sometimes. When you see it's like, I know it's in there. So even if you fumble and don't do good on the audition, and many times I brought people back, like they were like, no, that's what I want. because I know they can do it. I had to play once, and the person had really never acted before. And they just called me up and they said, "Look, I just want to walk on the stage." So I said, "Let me just write a little part in for you." They was remember Condoleezza? She tore it up. I mean, she was the talk of the play. So when it's in you, and when God has purposed you to do something, even when you think that, okay, maybe I didn't do it, or maybe I didn't do it well enough, it doesn't matter, because your steps are already ordered. And I see in you, when I see you act, you become that person. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people can act, but it's very few people that really can become that person. And I just think that it's so much that's going to happen, and I'm just so excited to be connected to you, to know you, because I know where you're going, and I just like being around people who do what they say and say what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people stand with a shovel and pray for a hole. I'm like, you got to dig. You know, you got what you need. So wow.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good. You played that. You did that.
Thank you
You
so
know, Miss Arisha, I did say I'm taking notes, so I will have some questions. But I want to ask a little bit about, tell us about the time you were able to work next to Samuel Jackson. And it's, how do you, I feel like I'm going to mispronounce the word because it sounds like the P is silent. But
It is. The P is silent, so it's
okay.
Ptolemy.
The last days of Ptolemy Gray.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And that, if anybody is interested in watching it, it's on Apple TV now.
Mm-hmm.
All of the episodes are out. Great show starring Samuel L. Jackson and Dominique Fishback, who is she is amazing. And working with, Samuel L. Jackson is my favorite actor for so many reasons. Like, you can look back in movies now and see Samuel L. Jackson, and you never realize that he was in that movie. He is the top earning actor of all time. He is the top earning actor of all time. But there was never a role that was too small for him. You know what I mean? He's been, if I'm not mistaken, he was in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most roles. So I loved Samuel L. Jackson. Let me tell you how this happened. It's a great story. I used to talk to my husband. My husband's here. My mom is right here too. She's listening.
Hello, family.
Hey, fam.
So I might have to bring her on. But I used to tell my husband, I'm going to work with Samuel L. Jackson. I am going to work with Samuel L. Jackson one day. So I saw an article that came out in Deadline magazine, one of the trades, and it said that he was working on producing The Last Days of Ptolemy Gray. So I said, bet. I went and I got the book and I read it. I read the book because I wanted to know what the story was about. There was even a character in there. I was like, "Ooh, I could play her," And then months later, I got an audition for The Last Days of Ptolemy Gray. Now, when I got that audition, I did not hear anything back. But it's funny, when I submitted it, maybe an hour or two later, I got another audition. And when I read it, and it was for Sonia Lavendrell, who plays the waitress in the diner that he and the other lead characters always go to. When I read it, I was like, I'm going to get this role. I'm going to get this role. I was like, I'm going to get this role. And I did the audition. I got a call back. And then I had a second call back. And I remember the guy, his name is Ramin Barini. He is an Academy Award nominated director. And I'm on the Zoom with him. And he was like, I just wanted to see you again. I just wanted to make sure, And so when we ended it, I was like, I think I got that part. And I did. And it's just, I knew that was something that I wanted to do. And I worked. I heard it was coming out. I got that book. I read it. There are things that you do to put yourself in the position and so that you can reach whatever that is. Now, if I hadn't have gotten that role, it's fine, because what's for me is for me. That is a thought that, anybody who's out there doing whatever, what is for you is for you. What God has for you is for you. Nobody else can do what he is preparing for you because it's yours. So if I wouldn't have gotten that role, it's fine, because the next role would have been for me. And one day I was going to work with Samuel L. Jackson regardless. But it was a great experience working with Samuel L. Jackson. He is he's very knowledgeable just about the business, just to sit and, because when we have our chairs, you know, we have our cast chairs. My cast chair was beside Samuel Jackson, so I'm just sitting there, you know, and he's talking. He's just a wealth of knowledge, and however anybody thinks he is, that's exactly how he is. He does have a favorite word. He's exactly like that, but he has a favorite word. But on the last day of filming, I was about to leave, and he stopped me and gave me a big hug and told me I did a great job. It's priceless. That's priceless. That's priceless. So working in that environment, you know, meeting people. Dominique Fishback, if you look her up, you'll see she was in Judas and the Black Messiah. She's about to be one of the leads in the new Transformers movie. She's going to be a lead in her own series that's being produced by Donald Glover. I told her too, I said, one day I'm going to play your mom. I took a picture with her, and side by side, I said, I look like you. I'm going to play your mom one day. It's going to come to pass. It's going to come to pass. But it was just an experience that I'll always hold with me, because I got to work with my favorite actor, and that won't be the last time.
Right. I mean, because you're speaking it and you're doing the work, and I wish people would really listen to what you're saying when you say you do the work. Doing the work doesn't mean just going to an audition. You got the book and you read the book.
Yep.
And this is something that you just said, and if you remember when the three Hebrew boys was getting ready to go into the fire, they said, whether God does deliver me, whether God do not deliver me, I know that he can. So we're going in faith. And that's that's what I see coming from you. Your thing is, whether it happen or not, if it's for me, it's going to happen. Yeah. So I'm walking with faith. I'm not walking in hope. And I've really been telling people, make sure you're not just hoping for something, because when you hope, you sit and you wait and you're comfortable. But when you're walking by faith, you get out of your comfort zone and you prepare yourself for it. So when it comes, you'll be ready.
Faith without works
is dead.
And the magnitude of that, because if you believe it's going to come to pass, you're going to act in the season that you need to right now to be ready. Because, you know, nobody's going to not prepare for their trip they've been asking for when they know it's coming. So I just want to touch on so far, Miss Arischa, in case the community didn't catch it, just to regroup on some of the knowledge you've given us, those tokens. Just going 100%, like giving yourself that 100%. And that allowed you to transition from a structured career, as we'll say, to being in your purpose. And I know COVID pushed a lot of people into that, like gave them the confidence to do that and the faith to do that. But I love how I've heard, if you're going to give 100% to yourself and then watch what God does with that. And then I love how you said you're a living lesson, because sometimes a lot of people strive to be a living legend. And it just, that is so much meat in that for me, because being a living lesson allows you to be a light and your testimony to teach people, versus you trying to be a star, be seen, you know, like you are being a light for them. So yeah, and no role is ever too small. Being prepared for every opportunity. And you started this with saying that even that opens you up to the acting is an opportunity to touch the world.
Yeah.
And your story is just so beautiful. How you are a testimony of how God's light truly works when you are humbled and obedient. And I hope that our community sees this and gets those tokens of knowledge, y'all. 100% into what you do for you, you are worth it. And knowing that you pouring in the time, studying those lessons, and y'all, I don't know if you missed it, but she spoke life over herself. Not to where it was like, I need this affirmation because I'm struggling today. She spoke life and believed it, and was like, if this ain't the stage where I'm with Samuel, there's a stage. I know it. But and you spoke all of it into existence. So it's so beautiful. It feels
Yes, I love it. And now I'm gonna change directions for a little bit here. So you are a winner in all that you do. So you sing a little, huh?
A little.
A little, and you like to perform when you sing, don't you?
I do.
You know where I'm going, don't you? So do you do karaoke a lot?
Karaoke. Well, back.
2015, I think.
Oh wow, yeah, that was. I was at a conference and we had a karaoke competition, and I
Yeah.
won. Yeah, that was. You found that video? Oh,
Yes, I did.
wow.
Yeah, I said, okay, I see. Karaoke queen. All right,
Oh
all
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And you can sing.
Oh well, thank you, thank
Yeah,
you.
I was like, okay. Yeah. And you did a cover of what was the song? I got it. I miss you. Did you do a video?
Oh, um, I don't. I'm not sure. I miss you. I know. Did if only you knew.
It was something I seen a video of you, and it was
Oh
when I was
God.
looking at the stuff, and I was like, okay, so she can sing. But what I like is
especially
that
if you don't dig in them crates.
some people, what they would do is they will attempt to do something, and if that don't work, they get crushed or they get broken. But for you, you was like, I'm gonna do what I'm going to do, and like you kept saying, I want to be a singer, but here you are, a major star. So and now, I mean, the time may come when you put out your album, write your book or whatever, those type of things. But just the fact that you have the ability to keep going,
Oh
that's
yeah.
the key. Just keep going no matter what happened. Don't let opposition turn your way. Don't let no stop you. So you
Oh,
you understand the power of speech. You understand that when you speak, you see, it started in the beginning that nothing was here until God spoke. When he spoke, he made us in his image, which means that he gave us the power that he has. So if he can speak things to existence and he lives within us, why would we not be able to speak things into existence? That's why
Or
he said, out of your
recognize the
belly
words you
shall
speak
flow
or
rivers
speak.
of living water. But we can speak those things that's not. We can speak. A lot of people don't know that, and I hear them. I'm like, quit crushing your dream. Oh, I didn't get it. I probably won't make it. I don't know if I. You're crushing your dream. So why should you get it? Because you're going in with that losing mentality, and people can pick up on that. And I don't know if I want that person in that position. I need somebody who know that they can, somebody who's willing. And when it comes to acting, it's not easy. You have to memorize a lot. I write a play, but I acting is no. People say, why you don't act? That's not my thing.
not only that, you're gonna hear no a lot. You're gonna hear. I've been doing this professionally for maybe 10 years, and I've heard more no's than I've heard yeses. But when you get to a point when you're so comfortable with yourself that I go for no now. Yeah, let me do this audition so I can get a no. Let me do all of these auditions so I can go for no. Because when I get a no, that's just a no is a stepping stone. So all of those
Mhm.
no's are just stepping stones to that yes. So yeah, you
Oh, I
gotta
love it.
yeah.
Get some nose out the way.
Oh
And
yeah.
you did a commercial,
hmm
Bojangles.
Yeah, Bojangles was actually that was like my first commercial. My first acting job was there was a TV show called Chicken Soup for the Soul's Hidden Heroes, and it
Hmm.
used
Oh,
to run
wow.
Saturday mornings, and it was just finding heroes and everyday people, and that was my very first acting job. It was my first audition and my first job. I booked my first very first audition. But yeah, I've done some commercials, and when when you're given those no's, there's so many different facets of acting. Acting is just not being on camera. Acting
Hmm.
is being behind the camera too. I do voiceover work. I do audiobook narration because all of those things are still being able to tell someone else's story in a way that touches the world. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, so I've done commercials. There's a commercial running now. I know, like I have some friends. A friend of mine was driving in the car. It's a Stitch Fix commercial. It's a voiceover commercial, and she heard it on the radio, and she was like, she called me. She said, "Hey, I heard a voice that sounded just like you. You know, it's a commercial." And I was like, "Yeah, that's me. That's me."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you don't limit yourself, and
Right.
don't let somebody else's no deter you from what you know in your heart is for you. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Love
A friend of mine always say that when God gave you the vision, it wasn't a conference call. It was just you and him. So that's why they don't understand your vision. They didn't hear the conversation.
it.
Right.
No.
Miss Arisha, I wanna know for us community members who maybe are at the beginning stages of our skill sets. How did you increase your skills? Like even the basic, like the memory. I know people have little tricks and techniques. How did you like get your skills to where, or what skills did you work on, or find yourself really focusing on and building techniques for?
I taking acting classes is definitely essential because what what people normally do when they get in front of a camera is they begin to perform. You know what I mean? They begin to act. If the words are have a good day and it's like action, you're like, have a good day. You know, but being in acting classes, being in acting classes really allows you to connect with yourself and realize that who you are is enough for whatever that role is. You're just being yourself in different circumstances. And
Mm-hmm.
I know one thing, like especially with older actresses, sometimes, oh, I'm too old to do this. I'm too old, or I don't have this look. You know, I was in that place at one time. I was in that place where I was like, oh, Hollywood doesn't want somebody who looks like me. Hollywood does, you know. But when I got to the place where I owned my uniqueness and just who I was and just really began to love Arisha, I realized that it is my uniqueness that is going to propel me into my greatness. Because
Yes, I like that.
because when we see people on screen or on stage, it is that unique thing about them that
Mm-hmm.
allows them to be in that position.
Mm-hmm.
So if you, I don't know, if you have a big scar on your forehead, you're like, oh, I can't do this or that because that. No, it's that scar on your
Mm-hmm.
forehead that's going to put you in a position that nobody else can fill. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
people just learned that. When I learned it was, and it was a process, when I learned to just love myself and know that my uniqueness is what makes me so amazing. All of us are amazing in our own ways. When we really connect to it and learn how amazing we are and learn how amazing we have been made,
Mm-hmm.
not only does it bring you joy, but it gives you a confidence like you've not known before, because I can get a role or not get a role. If I get it, I know it's my uniqueness. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's that thing about me, that specialness that God gave me that put me in that position. You know.
And that's good because I think that I know people who have started out doing something and as soon as they get a no, they quit and start doing something else. And it's like, well, why are you quitting? I listened to Busta Rhymes and he said that number one, the thing that helped him was he said, I did not allow myself to have a plan B. He said, I worked for, I think he said 3 weeks in a cleaning up or something. He said, I worked for 3 weeks. And I said, I would never work for another person again. He said, after that 3 weeks, he dedicated all his time to being and crafting what he wanted to be. And I think what people need to understand is if somebody tell you no, well, you go back and reinvent yourself. Keep doing it. Oh, don't give up. I mean, it's just amazing how many people don't understand. They see the people's glory, but they don't understand the story. There's a story behind every star. There's a story behind every Oscar. There's a story behind every leading role. Nobody wake up a superstar. So people have to understand. And so I like when you come on and you can tell us about the grassroots of it, how it started, how you worked it. You didn't just wake up and say, "Oh, this is gonna happen." No, you put the work in. And when the world said no, you say, "Wait a minute, but I know a God that can say yes." So you continue to do what you knew. If you know your vision, it doesn't matter what other people say. You know your vision and you're going to walk it out. And once you do that, you're unstoppable. And you got that unstoppable determination. So I know I can't, I just know. I just
You
know.
find yourself at a loss for words speaking life over her because it's the energy. That's what I've figured it out. I'm sitting here like, what is it? The energy, your passion of your craft shines through. And like when we talk about, I have my notes, an opportunity to touch the world. Even in your light, it does that. Just in you, your presence, it's beauty. It is enlightening. It's encouraging. And when you tell your testimony, that's what it does. And then when you get to play the story of other testimonies and other messages, you continue to do that. So you, like a bee, just pollinating everything. And it's such a beautiful one, Queen. Yeah.
Yeah, and like Annette Smith was saying, another way to say it is that there are 26 letters in the alphabet. Okay, Plan A didn't work, Plan B didn't work, Plan C didn't work, Plan D didn't work. So you keep on going, and people got to understand. Just hold on, like Marvell was saying. It you got to have that self discipline, and that means that no matter what happens, no matter I'm gonna keep going. When I listen to your story, it makes me think of a joke that people said. They said everybody thought that Noah was crazy till it started raining. People may listen to you and you say when you say, "Oh, I'm gonna work with Samuel Jackson," I bet you there's people still saying, "Well, I be." There's people still right now that's sitting shaking their head like I just didn't believe it. But you spoke it and you believed it and you didn't allow nothing to stop that. I love that. I love it, and you're encouraging me in so many ways right now. I'm sorry. You go ahead.
Oh, you're encouraging me, but I just wanted to say because I know the question you asked, but taking classes is really important in regards to acting because a lot of people will be like, I don't have to take a class. I'm a natural. Yeah, but even some of the biggest stars, Denzel Washington still was taking classes when he was acting. And also, one of my coaches, her name is Christine Horn. If you're interested in acting, look her up. She's amazing. And she does work first and foremost with your mindset. Because if you in the back of your mind, if you believe that you can't do something, then you can't do it. You got to change. You got to change the way that you think about yourself. You have to change the way you think about your situations and really believe that you can do it and believe in yourself and turn any negative, turn that thing into a positive. If you don't believe in yourself and you're not comfortable with yourself and you have that negative belief system, that can really hold you back. One thing that she calls her negative thoughts that come in her mind, she gives them a name. So my name for my negative thoughts is Doretha. So anytime Doretha is trying to tell me I can't do something, I say, "Oh no, Doretha, I'm not going to listen to that negative talk because I can do anything I put my mind to. I can do all things through Christ."
Yeah.
There's a kid's cartoon movie where he has to say "Silencio, Bruno," because Bruno is the thought in his head that keeps him from being courageous and jumping out there. "Silencio, Bruno." I love that. You said own your own. Own your own, being able to go inward. I want to make sure the village understands that. One time I tried to take books and read about, your mind and that mental muscle and exercising your mental health and your mind. And so there was one book that I can't remember. I was trying to flip real quick, see what it was titled, but something that caught my attention about like being able to go inward. And when I'm listening to it, it was literally, she was an acting coach. And so she's actually, so I was like, this isn't meant for me, but it was so intriguing that it was preparing the actors for that inward, like knowing who you are, like what emotion triggers that, like what triggers this emotion, so so you could be in control and tapping into that. And so it's just beautiful in the magnitude of your story and the importance of owning your own and being powerful in that.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I love it because I mean, it, anything that you do, you've got to feed the foundation first.
Mm.
A lot of people, the reason the house is falling is because they didn't spend enough time on the foundation. And like for me, I'm in the ministry, and when I talk to people, they always talk about the wisdom. I say, but you don't understand. Before I ever got into any pulpit, I spent years studying the Bible. I spent years reading. I mean, anything religious information I could get, I would read because I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was speaking about. So you can't just get up and just do it. You've got to. Everything is a process. Everything is step by step by step. But we're just so proud to see one of our own. And when I say that, I don't say culturally, racially, or whatever. I just say one of our own, somebody who's positive, somebody who want to do better, someone who realizes that it does take a village. You know, I'm listening to you, and you have never yet failed to mention all the different people who have helped you to get where you at and to stay where you at. That's called being humble. See, when you spend time lifting others up, then God will lift you up so you can continue to lift others up. So you got so much. And I would say this to you. I don't know if you thought about it, if anybody's ever mentioned it to you, but there's a book in you. You've got so much wisdom that you need to put it in a book because so many people can benefit from that. So I just want to let you know, I'm listening to you. I hear a book in you.
Okay.
I hear a book in you.
I'll receive that. I receive that.
Yes, that would be good. I'm just amazed because the humbleness, I think, is what I enjoy because I've met many people who have um, showed that everybody don't act that way, but I'm thankful because I mean you allowing your light to shine. You're allowing people to see who you are, and like you said, the key thing you said is be yourself. I think it was. I've known a lot of people who I've studied their background of how they became stars, and a lot of them have said they go in and the person will say, "Wait, who are you? I don't want you to audition as the character. I want you to be yourself, then become the character." And when you are not ashamed of who you are, like I say, when you find yourself, when you accept yourself, it's so much easier for the world to accept you.
Yes, it is.
So
Yes.
Miss Arischa, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So in hearing your desire to touch the world and hearing some of the impactful messages you've been a part of sharing with the village, what is the connection for you that is there between you and the health ministry?
And the what now?
Health ministry.
Health
It seems
ministry.
like your messages have been impactful around like a health journey, a health opportunity. What is that connection there?
I don't know. That's a good question. Now, I was a science teacher. Yeah, my background is in biology education. And I grew up in that industry because my father is a dentist. But I just love to empower people and encourage people because I've met people who talk so down on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think based on my own experiences, I can see it in other people because I went through that myself. But working with, like I said, Christine Horn and really getting my mindset to a place where I'm like, there's power in positivity. There really is power in positivity. I want everyone in the world to realize that there's power in positivity. There's there's power in you loving yourself. So, and I think all of that is, when you say health, I think of like self-help, that kind of
Mhm.
self-help realm. And it's just in me to help bring people up, so that they see their own greatness. That's what I did with my students. I used to tell my students all the time, you are great. You are going to do great things in this world. You are phenomenal. You are beautiful. I would talk life, speak life into my students. I didn't know if they were getting it from home. I don't know if they were getting it, but if they didn't get it from anywhere else, they were getting it from me. And I just,
Here.
you know what I'm saying? I guess so, that maybe that fits into that realm of health. But like I said, I just think of the self-help, because we can help, we can all be as positive and as beautiful as the two of you are, as giving and as loving and as wanting to build up your communities as all of us are. We all have that inside of us. And sometimes we just need someone to help us see it. So thank you too for having this podcast and connecting, because we are touching the world right now, and it's just a message that we all share. I just love
Mhm.
it when positive people come together like this. I just feel the energy in this
Yes.
podcast.
The positivity.
Yeah.
So that's the
That's so
energy we
good.
want our village to feel when they come on too. So I
Oh yeah,
appreciate you sharing that you feel that with us.
yeah.
Yeah. And keep the question, I felt like when it came to me that it wasn't something he had given you the answer to yet. So I would this is probably one that'll be for when you come back and visit us and you're like,
Mhm.
let me tell you the epiphany I had, and it's just you tell you what God did.
Yes, yes. Because there's so many things that's happening, and I'm like you, when I see something, I speak it because I know the power of speak. So when I finish and have my mini series, because I'm doing a mini series about the men and what's going on with men, it's called "Where's My Daddy."
Mhm.
When I do that, I'm sure there's going to be a position, place, and role for you. So I'm letting you know now that I'm in my, like you spoke about Samuel, I'm speaking about you. We will work together, and you will be part of that, because I think that we need to learn how to be what we want to be
Mhm.
and not be scared to say it. And I say that because I've had a chance to work. You remember Greenleaf?
Mhm.
I could have been part of that, but I didn't know how to speak or have that, like the elevator conversation they say when you have a couple of minutes. He gave me his card and he told me I knew somebody else and this is what they did, and I didn't do the work because I didn't know of doing the work.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I'm like, wow, I
And
had a
there's
chance.
resources
So
in the community. There's resources, community. I
yes,
am one.
yes.
I'm a communication queen. If you get stuck like that and don't have your elevator speech, see me.
Right. Definitely. But we appreciate you because it's been so uplifting. You are a true person. You're blazing the trail. You're opening doors for so many people that you don't even know about. The Bible said somebody plants the seed, somebody else water, and God gives the increase. So you're planting seeds that somebody else may water, but God is going to give an increase. What you're doing is so much more than you, and you see that and you understand that. So we appreciate that because you're just a breath of fresh air. So we just thank you for taking the time out, because I know that it's a lot of things that you could have been doing besides this. So I appreciate you taking time out to be on our podcast and be part of the village. Once you're part of the village, it's for life.
Oh,
So definitely we are so happy to have you, and good luck and much success on all the things that you're doing. I
thank
pray
you.
that whatever you touch, that it turns to gold. I pray that the no's become less and the yes become more, so
Thank
that your conversation will begin to be, I'm getting more yeses than I am no's.
you. I receive it. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a I don't know any other way I would have enjoyed spending the last hour. I appreciate you.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we thank you. We thank you.
you touch not only the world, there's a multitude, a sea of multitudes out there still being touched by you. I feel it and see it for you. Make sure, Miss Arisha, tell our village one more time how they can get in contact with you.
You can get in contact with me on, somebody put it up,
Yeah.
Arisha's Star on Instagram, and Arischa Conner on Facebook and Twitter.
Yes, and everybody definitely reach out. She's someone that can add value to whatever you're doing. If you need encouragement, if you need to learn or whatever, this is a wealth of knowledge right here. She's humble, she's real, and that's what we have very little of. So when you see her, know that you are seeing a real deal. Know that you're seeing, you see someone that's blessed and anointed by God, because you can't go through what you've been through and do what you do and see it the way you see it without having that some super that's been added to your natural.
Oh.
What's happening is going to be supernatural.
Praying
Hey, mama.
Praying
So
mama.
beautiful.
This is a praying woman right here. I got.
I know it.
Mama.
Wow, beautiful,
Mama, we thank
beautiful.
you for what you have blessed our village with. This beautiful soul who is continuing to be a light to so many.
Yes.
You know, I just want to remind the village and Miss Arisha, when they reach out to you, you can put them straight up with services you offering. But
Okay.
you guys, she is a science teacher, possibly tutor, a singer, actress. I know she's got some writing behind her. So whether it be some novels, some playwrights, she's been on the stage. She probably can be a mentor to those of us trying to build up some skills. And I don't think it stops there, but that's all that she shared with us so far. So part 2, we'll be able to learn a lot more. So please reach out to Miss Arisha to let her know just the encouragement, the love, and the thankfulness that as our village that you have for her.
Yeah, and now the All American, that's on CW. That's on Monday nights, right?
Mm-hmm.
So definitely turn your TV on. You're gonna see her on TV.
Wait a minute, you're an All American?
Yeah, I was in the episode that just aired Monday.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. It's so much. I had notes, but it's just so much. When you have a real person, it's hard to stick with the notes, because the notes are for those who you have to pump and prime and hope that, because some people get very nervous and they don't want to speak. But you're natural, so I wouldn't even get to a lot of my notes, but you can go, and I think you can. Dopesick was on Hulu, right? On Hulu, and the last days of Ptolemy Gray, that's on Apple Plus.
Yes, that and Swagger.
And Swagger. So see, there's so many platforms that you can go and see this amazing artist. Yeah, and that's the thing about a star. You shine brightly over so many places. People can see you from all areas of life. So we appreciate you. We applaud you. And we just want to be some of the ones that give you your flowers while you're here.
Thank you.
Because you worked for them, and it's due to you. And we are honored to be able to give you those roses while you're here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me. This has been this was time well spent. I really.
We appreciate you, and like I said, we're gonna say see you later. We're not gonna say bye. We're gonna say see you later. For now, we appreciate you, and I hope the rest of your weekend is blessed, and enjoy yourself, and know that the best is yet to come. That Oscar's waiting for you.
I receive it. Thank you so much, and likewise.
All right, bye. See you later.
That was
That was good. That was good.
Village, make sure. I know that we don't say it often. I don't know if it's wherever you're watching from, if it's applicable, but I hear everyone say it, and I feel it's important that you share with the village, reach our village, stretch our village, so these beautiful contributions can be resources, can be shared with others. So like, subscribe, join, whatever you need to make sure you know and share and show your love for the village.
Yes. And we've enjoyed everyone. We thank everyone for the participation. We thank everyone that's been a part of the village. And Annetta Smith, we love you. You're so supportive. And your story is yet to be told. You've got a lot of good stuff. This is a very powerful woman. Her story is beautiful as well. So we're still holding that spot for you for you to be on the show. And we just enjoy everyone
today too. We had a lot of great guests join our viewers. I'll say, Marvell, thanks for joining us. Annetta, thank you. James, Stephen, we appreciate all of you guys as well. Thank you guys.
Yeah, Stephen Wesley. We you know, so we praise God and we thankful for your participation because it takes a village podcast. Again, we're here to uplift, encourage, and enlighten those who may have been overlooked or those who others may feel like, you know, maybe you don't have what they need. But we're here to let you know that if you are breathing, you are worth being part of the village. If you have a voice, you have a product because you have a story, and someone is waiting on you to tell your story so they can shine themselves. So we look forward to the next time we get together. We got some really good things that's coming up. So we really want everybody to stay tuned. I see my beautiful wife Greta's on here. That's my better half. So you know everything that I do is based because she support me. So I always have to shout out to her. That's my baby right there. So
Mama.
yeah. So but we've had fun today. It's really been enjoyable. So we thank you and for
when will the village be able to see us next?
Hold on, let me get the calendar up here. Make sure.
Beautiful number 7. Yes, it is May 7th.
May the 7th, right?
Yes.
Yes. May the 7th.
Episode. It is going to be a beautiful celebration of women.
Yes.
Hey guys.
Yeah, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. It's definitely going to be some fun time and a lot of information. So we're looking forward to that. But until then, everybody just continue to love one another, love yourself, and just continue to just enjoy life itself because it is truly a blessing. We thank you for being a part of the village. And this is, I'm thankful again for my co-host, Ariana Turner, because she brings so much to the podcast, her energy, her knowledge, her wisdom. I'm thankful. So again, if you have problems communicating in any way, or you feel like you need someone to help you, that you need to reach out to her because she can help you to get that communication together.
Gotcha. Reach out to It Takes a Village and tell us how we can serve and what resources you may need, and we'll find them, bring them on, and make sure our village is equipped and empowered. Until next time, have a beautiful night.
Yeah, and if you want to be a part of the podcast, just send us your information and we'll get you on here and we'll get you plugged in. So until next time, It Takes a Village podcast. We're signing out now. Everybody have a blessed day. We'll see you later.